everybody, and welcome back to GameRant.com. I'm Anthony Taormina, editor-in-chief of the website. It's mailbag time. All right, so as you can see on the box, this comes to us from our friends at Belkin. If you saw a previous video, we were looking at their Nintendo Switch accessories. So they had two different cases. One that was for traveling, just getting your Nintendo Switch handheld inside the case, carrying a couple key cards. And then they had an additional case that came with a power bank to charge the Switch to while it was traveling in that case. And then also a screen protector. Normally, Belkin makes a lot of, power banks and accessories like that for your mobile devices, things like that. So I think inside this package is something like that. All right, so what we've got inside is 1, 2, and 3 items, 3 Belkin items, all focused on your charging. Although these weren't specifically tied to the Nintendo Switch, I think these 3 devices would actually be super useful for your Nintendo Switch. So if you do have a Nintendo Switch 2 or a Nintendo Switch 1 or any handheld or any mobile device, there's a lot of different uses here. But Nintendo Switch 2 is kind of being talked about. And so they do have Nintendo Switch 2 made for branding on there. So let's show them off. So first up, we've got a USB-C to USB-C 60-watt cable. It's braided. What's the length on this? It's 2 meters or 6.6 feet. Very cool. So let's open it up. I think everybody's gonna need a pretty solid cable for their charging. Maybe you've got the Nintendo Switch 2 attached to something else and you want to get a little extra boost. This 60-watt cable will help you out. Ooh, it's nice. I like it. Here's what I like about a nice USB-C to USB-C cable. Number 1, good build quality. You got that covered. The braided cable is super important. So though you've got the twist ties here, you also have a little clasp here so you can keep it nice and coiled. And this is normally you get the Velcro. This has a nice little button snap. And then it does attach to the cable so you can kind of do a different configuration if maybe your cable management goes a specific way. But that's actually super nice. I do appreciate that. So let's take the twist ties off. So again, this is a 60-watt USB-C to USB-C cable. Plenty of power for your Nintendo Switch. They do kind of show on the power bank different ways that you could benefit from using this. Got your Belkin branding on there. So what I do like is, you can take your cable, you can have it, so there you go. Pretty lengthy, so you could use this, have it connected to your charger, which, spoilers, coming soon. Plugged into a wall, and then deliver your power to your Switch a good distance away. But yeah, I always appreciate a way to organize, because just having it... So I am of the camp, I don't know what your cable management looks like, but I'm of the camp that I like to fold it kind of like this, like around my hand. Let's do it. And then I like to, so let's see if we can do it. And then I like to kind of crush it and see if I can get all of them. Get it fully. I don't think I'm going to be able to. No, you can't do that, but you can tuck it into a loop. So that's still not as elegant as in the packaging, but we will. Not bad. I'm not the best at cable management. I'm sure some of you see in my background, and I'm not the best at cable management, but really it's all about the cable. We'll move on to this. We'll save the the big boy for last. So this is a dual USB-C wall charger from Belkin. It's a 65 watt USB-C charger. So you've got two configurations as indicated on the back. So if you use the single USB-C port, you get 65 watts. And then if you use both ports, you are getting 45 from the top port and then, or the main port, or the, is it labeled? It is labeled, and then you're getting 20 from the other. So I'll show you because it is labeled. So you can use that top port, have that plugged into your Switch 2 or like a laptop or something, phone, and then you can use the bottom port and have that plugged into a different device like a tablet, phone, something like that, and you're still getting 20 watts, which is nice. Do we get, hold on, first question, do we get USB-C cable? No USB-C cable to know. So as I was saying, I always appreciate being able to fold the prongs in so that you don't have to have them sticking out, worry about them. You could tuck this nicely into a bag, a backpack, and just have this little brick sitting there. And then on the back, it gives you that clear indication, which I think is super useful, so you can remember, okay, 65 watts total coming from this wall charger, and then these are what the ports are giving you, so you can make sure you plug in the right thing. Obviously, you want to use the top port for charging your Switch 2, or the device you want to get the most power to, 65 watts singularly, or you could have two devices connected, and you want that device that gets the most power, draws the most power, plugged into the top, and then the 20 watt to a mobile device or something like that. So USB-C cable plus wall charger, good to go. Charging your Switch, keeping it powered on for traveling or something like that. But if you don't have access to an outlet, you might want to go for something like this, which is the Power Bank 20K with integrated cable. So in addition to the prongs folding into the device, my second favorite thing, well, or maybe my first favorite, it's hard to say, when it comes to power delivery to your devices is a power bank that comes with a built-in USB-C cable. I just can't say enough how useful it is being able to just get that cable right out of the device instead of having to carry a cable in your pocket or your backpack or something. Granted, like I have a massive tech backpack with tons of cables and stuff. I'm always ready, but just being able to have that going is, I really appreciate the thought that goes into that. So we got some protective stickers because there is a shiny surface. All right, so again, this is, I will show you on the back. So there are different things you can charge, different ways you can charge, separated out. It is a 20K, so I believe that's 20,000 milliamp hours. Belkin labels them as 20K. So you get a 4.7 inch or 12 centimeter integrated cable, 30 watt power delivery. So not as like high, high power as you're gonna get coming from the wall, but you're still gonna get, say, what does the button do? There's a button here. Oh, okay. So the button shows you the power you've got, but, so not only do you get this integrated cable, does it extend? No. So you get this integrated USB-C cable that tucks nicely in here. So there's like a little groove here, so it'll tuck, sit flush like that, so you don't have to worry about it. You also have two ports at the top, so you have an in-out with the, let me make sure it's facing the proper way. So you have an in-out with the USB-C, and then you also have a USB-A part. So in total, you could have 3 devices connected, as it shows you on here. But you're only getting a total of, it says on the front, 30 watt. So you really kind of have to decide what you want to charge. But I think in terms of being a Nintendo Switch user, having this brick in your case being able to pop it out, charge up a device, you know, or just you have your phone nearby and you say, okay, I want to get some juice going to my phone, get that charger. And there's my son. Ain't he cute? He was dressed up as Link a few years ago for Halloween. So that's super useful in and of itself. And then being able to tuck it away. It's a little bigger than maybe you want to carry in a pocket, but you could carry it in a pocket. Like, it's not compared to, this is my iPhone 16 Pro with a 16.4? Why did I say 16? This is my iPhone 16 Pro. In terms of size-wise, it's not much taller. It's obviously thicker than the phone with the case on, but you could theoretically put this in a pocket if you wanted to, or a backpack, purse, a sling bag, something like that, and then carry it around and have the cable pop out and charge. Again, I really appreciate integrated cables. It's a super useful part of power delivery devices that I think more companies need to take advantage. So props to Belkin for doing that. And those are the 3 latest items that we've checked out that are Switch 2 focused, so made for the Switch 2, but can also work with any of your devices that come to us from Belkin. We have the USB-C cable. You've got the wall charge. And you've got the power bank. Pretty awesome. I want to say thank you to Belkin for sending in these items and letting us feature them in today's Game Rant Mailbag. And thank you for watching today's Game Rant Mailbag. I really appreciate it. I'm Anthony. Have a great rest of your day.